Welcome to Law Signs, No Law Cosines video. Thanks for watching. Okay, so law cosines is a kind of a lengthy formula. So we did a proof, and you have to go ahead and watch that video for extra credit. And we came up with that proof right there using law cosines. So definitely watch that video next for extra credit. And so there's the formula we're going to use for the law cosines. So go and write this down. Print this worksheet off or a blank sheet of paper and write this down. And so a lot easier if you just print off this worksheet, but if you don't have a printer at home, you come to the school to grab one, or you can just get out a blank sheet of paper and copy it down. You can email me if you have to do a blank sheet of paper and copy all these down. If it's just taking too much time, I can try to help you another way there, time constraints. But otherwise, hopefully this is not learning at home, but if it is, here you go. And if it's not, well, we did use this also at home. So videos are the best when you have to do learning at home or at school. Awesome. Okay, so then some of the formulas that we want to cover for the law cosines goes like this. So for example, number one, it's saying to find segment AB. So segment AB, we can also label that. We need to label that as little c. So that's what they want us to find. So if they want us to find little c, we're going to start with little c in our formula. So we're going to do c squared is equal to the other two sides squared and added. The other two sides squared and added. Kind of like the Pythagorean theorem. What? A little bit more than that because we also have to minus. This is again for a non-right triangle, right? This is for side, 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 and side, angle, side. Using law of cosines, angle, angle, angle. Always start with the largest angle. That's something we'll talk about probably in the next video. And so again, this is for non-right triangles. Cool. So we got some obtuse triangles going on this front page. So it's c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2. It's part of the formula. Times those two sides that we just squared and added. So a times b. And then cosine of, and then you want to use the angle of the letter that we started with. So this would be angle C. So there's one of the many formulas we're going to use. Don't get so hung up on the letters themselves. It's just the side you're missing equals the two sides. So the side you're missing equals the two sides squared and added, minus 2 times those two sides that you have, and then cosine of the angle you have. Cool. So definitely need side angle side to be able to do this, which we have. Look at that, side angle side. Cool. So then let's go and solve for C. And this one will be a lot of calculator work, which is nice to break you off gently. Mini lesson. So c squared is equal to, now let's label, so across from big A is little a, and across from big B is little b. Okay, so we're going to do 28 squared, good, plus b is 16 squared, good, and then minus 2 is part of our formulae. So let's go ahead and just kind of do that in a different color. So that's always going to be there. Minus 2 is part of our formula there, right? Part of our formula. So then minus 2, and then we have a times b, so that's 28 again, times 16, good. Those are our two sides that we just squared and added. And then we got cosine of our angle, which in this case is angle C, which is 117 degrees. And so really, we could just put all that in our calculator and then square root it. So we'll show you a couple ways to do that there. And if you don't have a calculator at home, you can always go to desmos.com. That's DESMOS.com, Desmos. That's a free calculator. Or just type in free calc. I'm sure you'll find something there. Cool. And probably just even type that in Google. It'll help you too. Go Google. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do 28 squared. You could put in parentheses if you want to, depending on what calculator you have. Or you might not need to if you have a pretty awesome graphing calculator like I do. Awesome. So there's 28 squared plus 16 squared. Then we're going to do minus 2 and that's the regular minus symbol, times, again, 28, times 16, our two sides, multiply together again, and then cosine of our angle, which is 117 degrees. Now before you push enter, make sure again that your mode is not in radians. Wrong answer. Aha, right answer. So make sure you're in degrees, good. And then we'll go to push enter, wha-bam. That's a huge number, 1446.775. So we're going to go 1446.775. Don't forget that we are solving for, oops, forgot my 6. So we're solving for little c. And since we're solving for little c, that means what do we want to do to both sides to solve for c? Right now there's a squared there. Do you remember how to undo the squared? How do you undo square? How do you undo square? That's right, you square root it. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side. Cool. So then we'll go back to our calculator, and we'll go second square root of 1446.775. And you can put the whole thing in if you want to be really exact. And then we get our answer for little c, which is 38.03. So we don't have measurements, inches, meters, feet. That's strange. Sorry about that, but we'll just do 38 then. So c equals 38. So we get c is equal to 38 inches or meters. So 38 is our answer. Find the measure of, it's 38. Nice. And so if you wanted to do it all in one fell swoop, you actually could have done, right? So you actually could have done second enter, second enter. So this whole thing, if you want to skip a step, this is what some of my students do. It's kind of tricky though, is that the very, very beginning, I'm going to insert it in, but the very, very beginning, they put a square root symbol in there. And then they put everything in there. We'll do it on the next one. Okay, so that's our answer there for number 1. So all of these, a lot of whole numbers, but there'll be some with decimals. It does say to round to the nearest 10th. Round to your nearest 10th. Awesome. And so just keep on going through these. Maybe we should do number 6. Ooh, I know. I'll let you try number 6, and then we'll check your answer. Okay? Try number 6. It says define BC. So BC, you got to label it. It's across from big A. They want you to find little a, basically. Right? And so what is A? Remember the formula we just learned? Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it? Okay, so again, it's side angle side, which is what we want. Good. Okay, you can just, this front page, you could probably just type right into your calculator. And because all it's going to be is, now we're trying to find for little a. And so this is a slight variation of the formula above, right? So if you wanted to write all the formulas above, we can. So it's, what is it? A squared equals the other two sides squared and added, minus 2 times those same sides that we just squared and added, and then cosine of the letter that we started with. And so the letter that we started with was, we started with little a. So let's go and do big A. So then if we wanted to go ahead and copy that, boom, we can clone it. Whoa, that's amazing. And then send that up there to the top. There we go. Nice. And there it is. So here's another formula if you wanted to write that on the top of your paper. So if we start with c squared, or we start with a squared, could you guess what's b squared? Could you do b squared? I bet you could. So what is, that's a squared, starting with a squared and c squared. So there's one more formula there. And so that'd be b squared, right? So b squared is equal to the other sides, which is a squared and c squared, minus 2 times a times c, and then cosine of the angle we started with. Angle of the side length we started with, which was b. So those are the 3 formulas you're going to use. But don't get so hung up on the letters as much as this whatever sides that you're trying to find squared equals the other 2 sides squared and added minus 2 times those side. So here we go with number 6. So then with number 6, we're trying to find a squared. So then b squared would be 13 squared. Doesn't matter the order, but 13 squared plus 29 squared minus 2 times 13 times 29. Whoa. Why did it do that? I don't know. That's because you got to do the touchy touch there, and the pencil there. Okay. So then minus 2 times 13 times 29. And then of the angle between them, which is 41. Cool. So then, so I did this in my calculator, and I got a pretty big number, 440. But what if we went ahead and this time square rooted it all, 440.9? So square rooted it all at the same time that we plugged it in. Should we try that this time? We can use a calculator for the whole problem. So the square root of 13 squared plus 29 squared minus 2 times 13 times 29. Calculator knows parentheses means that. And let me make sure. Yep, are we still in the square root symbol? We are, because we wanted to square root the whole shaboozy to get our final answer. Okay, awesome. So then let's make sure we're still, still in the square root symbol. Make sure the arrow's going there. Okay, so then with next to 29 will be cosine of 41. Nice. And then we'll push enter. Boom. So we get 20.99, which rounds to 21. 21. So we went ahead and plugged it all into our calculator, got 21. And so if we would have done it without the whole square root symbol, let's try that for a second. Okay, so if I just delete and then push enter, that's where we get the 440.9. And then we square root 440. Now if you don't round too soon, you might get a wrong answer. So try to at least go, 2 or 3 decimal places. And there's our 20.99, which is 21. Nailed it. So that's how you do the front page, just plugging all those in your calculator. Again, number 5, it'll be 23 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 23 times 13 times cosine of 88. Enter, square root it. And there's how you do number 5. So pretty straightforward on this front page. I'll make another video now for the back page as well as the word problem. And so just make sure you always start with the largest angle. Always start with the largest angle or the largest side. Start with angle B. And then use the law of sines to find either of them. So we'll come back and help you on number 11 and 12 on our next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for working at home. Peace out.